Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're talking about the fourth lord through houses. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, so today we're talking about the fourth planetary house lord through houses. So first off, what is the fourth house? Fourth house is your mother figures. Fourth house is home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your comfort and happiness. It's also your homeland, the place you were born. Now, if you're in a very large country, like, the United States, then this would refer to your local, state. Like, for instance, if you were born in New York, it would apply to, New York, not California. California would not be fourth house for you. Okay. Just as an example. Alright. But yeah, so let's talk about the fourth lord through houses. So, the first house. Well, first house is you. It's your physical body. It's your overall path in life. So now the fourth lord is going to the first house. Well, this shows your mother was very focused on you. Mother wanted to provide for you. Now, this could show you don't have younger siblings or older siblings because mother is solely focused on you. Or mother figures, if you were adopted. Now, this also shows that you receive comfort and happiness. This is a very good position. This is a kingly yoga. A kingly combination. Meaning you experience a rise in status, especially if you go through the dasha of this planet. Or planetary or sign-based time period, for those that don't know what a dasha is. Okay. Now, what we also see is you obtain a home. You obtain property in your life if you run the appropriate planetary or time period or sign-based time period, then you will get a property. Here we see the people of your homeland want to interact with you, want to approach you. So this can be a good position for politics. This can be a good position for being known to the people of your homeland. Like I said, this can give a person a kingly position in life, a kingly status, meaning in a high up position. Now, the first house is also 10th from the fourth house. So what does this mean? Well, this means your mother is also very career focused. Or mother figure. They could be, a workaholic with this placement. Yes, they will be focused on you, but they also have a lot of work to perform in this life. They are focused on their karma. At least from your perspective, that is how your mother would appear. Now, we'd also have to look at the moon and see where the moon goes and, how it's being affected to get, a more clear picture along with, the fourth house itself. But we can see that. All right. So now let's talk about the fourth lord in the second house. So second house is family. It's earnings, savings. It's your bank account. It's what you value. It's your speech. So here we see the mother kind of becomes the heart of the family with this placement. Now mother is in the center of the family. Meaning, maybe you grew up with a single mother. Or maybe mother was, kind of the head of the household. Maybe, your father wasn't around that often. Maybe your father worked very long hours. So your mother was the, primary heart of the family. But we can see that mother would be that core of the family. We also see a person values comfort and happiness, because now that is going into the second house of value. Here we see some of the money a person makes. Note to see the majority, you would look at Venus. But some of the money a person makes in this life would come through the mother. Meaning, maybe mother, provides you money. Maybe you're taken care of by your mother. Maybe you have a wealthy mother. I don't know. But we also see, you could work with your mother. Maybe there's a family business and you work with the family business. So that can be seen with this as well. Here, second house is food. Fourth house is tied to restaurants. And especially in the second house of food, a portion of your income can come through restaurants or food service. Now, that doesn't mean that for your entire life you will be in the food service industry. But when you were young, maybe you worked at a fast food restaurant. These are the kinds of things that we can see with this. Also, fourth house is vehicles. So a portion of your money can come through vehicles, can come through real estate. Can make a portion of your income through working at home. Okay. Also, with this, we also see the fourth lord in the second house. Second house is 11 houses away from the first house. So we see your mother would be very focused on her elder siblings and her friends. On her hopes, wishes, and desires. But overall, this is a pretty good placement. So now let's talk about the fourth lord in the third house. So, third house is your younger siblings. It's your cousins, your neighbors. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's travel, especially short distance, but it can even be long distance travel as well, because it's 12th from the fourth house. Furthest place away from your homeland. Third house is your skills. It's a higher form of sun ups and downs and transformation, because it's 8th from the 8th house. So transformation through self-effort, because the third house is effort. Third house is arts, sports, media, social media, the internet. So with the fourth lord being here, we see your mother. You kind of experience the loss of the mother. Now, that doesn't mean, your mother is going to die. Everyone's mother dies. What it does mean is you're going to feel that lack of your mother or mother figure in your life. Meaning, third house is your younger siblings. If you have younger siblings, mother would primarily focus on them. So you feel like your mother doesn't really pay attention to you. Mother doesn't listen to you. But what we also see is you experience comfort and happiness through spending time with your younger siblings, through enjoying media, social media, the internet, through traveling. With this placement, we can also see your living situation would transform in a big way at some point. Now, maybe that means you move to a foreign country. Maybe that means you lose a home and become homeless. Maybe that means you go from, living in a shack to living in a mansion. That's going to depend on each individual's chart. But we also see a lot of travel takes place with this, especially, with a vehicle. A lot of short distance travel from here to there. Here, a person can definitely be in real estate because third house is also marketing and sales. So here, a person can be very good at marketing and sales when it comes to vehicles, when it comes to land and real estate and homes. But here, a person has to put in a lot of effort to have that relationship with their mother. A person has to put in a lot of effort to have a home, to have a vehicle. To have comfort and happiness in their life requires a lot of effort. You have to work hard for that. It's not easy. So this can be kind of a difficult placement. Now, let's talk about the fourth lord in the fourth house. So, we already said what the fourth house is. It's your mother figures, it's home, land, real estate, it's vehicles, it's your comfort and happiness, it's your government, especially local government. So, with the fourth lord being here, all of these areas of life are protected. This shows your mother would have good health. This shows that your home would be stable. Now, this can entirely change depending on if there's a bunch of malefics affecting the fourth house. But without a bunch of malefics affecting this, then we see the home would be stable. Same thing with your ability to have a vehicle. Your comfort and happiness is derived through the home and through your mother, through your car. Not everyone experiences that. Some people, they get a car and it's nothing but problems for them. It's always breaking down. They always have to repair it. Or it's getting damaged. Somebody keys their car while they're in the store. But with this placement, you don't experience those kinds of things. Alright. So overall, this is a very good placement. It just shows that the fourth house, the areas of the fourth house are protected. Now, fourth lord in the fifth house. Well, fifth house. Fifth house is children. It's students, subordinates. It's romance, fun and games. It's education. Fifth house is creativity, art, sports. Fifth house is politics. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. So with this, we see if you have children, your mother would be very focused on your children. Your mother would want to be there for her grandchildren. That's not always the case. Now we also see that your comfort and happiness comes through your education, comes through romance, comes through fun and games, creativity, sports. We also see here that your mother would also want to enjoy fun and games. Like with this, you could, enjoy games together with your mother. Maybe you have a board game night once a week. Like here, your mother would like to have fun. Also, your mother would be very involved in your education. But one negative thing we see with this is mother can be prone to gambling. Playing the stock market. Here, your mother would be very focused on the family. In particular, her family. Now, that's not just you, that's also her family before marriage. Because this is second from the 4th house. We also see that you would like to speculate on land and real estate. You would like to kind of gamble with that. To try to make speculative gains. Not steady income. Like this wouldn't be, just getting a property and renting it to someone. This would be flipping homes. With this placement can be seen. But this is a kingly yoga. This is a Raj yoga. You can see a rise in status with this placement. When you run the time period of this planet. Now, let's talk about the 4th Lord in the 6th house. So 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your work. It's service. It's everyday work, everyday routines. It's health issues and accidents. It's your enemies. It's your pets. It's debt. It's conflict. It's competition. So it's even a house of sports. 6th house is also legal disputes. So, with the 4th Lord in the 6th house, with this we see, 6th house is also unchangeable karma because it's tied to health issues. So, 4th house. 4th house is the lungs. Now it's in the 6th house of health issues. So, unchangeable karma to have health issues tied to your breathing. Tied to even your heart. This can show heart problems as well. Now, everybody gets health issues, but in your case, we clearly see what those would be. So, be careful. Do what you can to, mitigate these health issues. And it may be unchangeable karma, but that doesn't mean you can't, be safe about it. Don't be an idiot. With this, we can see that you'd be prone to things like pneumonia. You could be an asthmatic with this. Or like I said, you could have heart problems with this. Now, we also see, with this placement, your mother would deal with significant health issues as well. Here we see, you would have conflict with your mother. Things would not be easy with your mother. That relationship would be tenuous. Even if this is well placed by sign, you will see that. Now, 6th house. This also shows you would have to serve the mother. Because now the 4th Lord is going into the 6th house of service. This also shows serving the people of your homeland. Here you have that debt to pay. Remember, 6th house is debt. That's not always financial. That can be a karmic debt as well. Also, your mother would be very focused on her siblings with this placement. Because 6th house is maternal aunts and uncles. And this is 3 houses away for your mother. So the siblings of your mother. Now, this being 3 houses away also shows that having peace, having comfort and happiness, even having a home, having vehicles, requires a lot of effort. that would not be easy, because this is going 3 houses away. Here you can also see a person can be prone to car accidents. 4th Lord in the 6th house of accidents. So, buckle up. Make sure you have good insurance. Once again, don't be an idiot. Okay. I'm overdoing it. Now, 6th house is also pets. So, you find your comfort and happiness through pets. Your mother would also be fond of animals with this placement. Now, if there are malefics affecting this, outside of Ketu or Rahu could actually make that even more intense. But other malefics could show not being fond of animals. Quite the opposite. Now, you can also be fond of competition with this, because now comfort and happiness is derived through the 6th house. Here, a person feels happy when they're serving others, when they're competing, when they're doing their work. So yeah, this person could be a workaholic with this placement. Here we see, to get a car, to get a home, you will have to take on debt in order to achieve that. Okay. So, this is a very rough placement. Unless there are mitigating factors, this placement is not a peaceful one. It does come with hardship. It does come with difficulty. I'm not going to lie to you when a placement's difficult. If you want that, go to, as I like to call them, cotton candy astrologers. Okay. But let's talk about the 4th Lord in the 7th house. Okay. So, 7th house is relationships, business. It's the masses, all the people you meet out in the world. So, with this, we see your comfort and happiness comes through relationships, or doing business, or dealing with lots of people. Now, do you actually have a placement to do business? If you don't, then, comfort and happiness through business wouldn't matter to you, because you're not doing business. You may want to do business, but you're not able to. That could also be seen. But here, a person finds comfort and happiness through relationships. And unless there's a bunch of malefic influence, or the 7th Lord or Venus are in bad placements, then they would receive comfort and happiness through relationships. Also, here we see mother would want to be heavily involved in your relationship. This could be the kind of mother that's a little overbearing. When you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend when you were younger. Also, your opinion of who you would want to marry would be affected by the mother. Who your mother likes would be who you would probably marry with this. Now, 7th house is 4th from the 4th. So, that means it's home away from home. Also, 7th house is the furthest place away from your ascendant, because it's directly opposite. Opposite from you. In other words, from where you were born. So this can show there is potential for living in a foreign place. Also with this, we see you could get a home, get a car through marriage. Even if you're the one who purchases that car, or that home, that property, Marriage is what would trigger that being possible in your life. Also, with this placement, you would want a spouse who is motherly. A spouse who comforts you. Like the stereotypical mother. Okay. Now, let's talk about the fourth lord in the 8th house. So, 8th house is sex. It's your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's other people's money. It's the occult. It's research. It's death, wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. It's sudden ups and downs and transformation. It's your psychological baggage. It's anything hidden. It's surgeries. I think I already mentioned it, but it's also the occult and research. Pretty sure I did. But oh well. So, with the fourth lord being here, once again, there will be a big transformation of your living situation at some point. Here we see that your mother will go through a big transformation in her life as well. Mother could be an occultist with this placement. Here you can have psychological baggage tied to the mother, tied to your home, tied to vehicles even. Here your comfort and happiness is derived through sex, through the occult, through research, even through your in-laws. Maybe your in-laws provide you comfort and happiness with this placement. Joint finances can provide you comfort and happiness with this placement. Here we see you can actually inherit a home with this. Inherit a car. Because the 8th house is tied to inheritance. But here we see there are sudden ups and downs with a person's ability to have comfort and happiness in their life that would not be stable. Their comfort and happiness wavers. Goes up and down. So you definitely see, fourth house is a person's internal world. With that being in the 8th house of psychological baggage, definitely we can see psychological issues can be there. Also, we see with this, your mother would require a surgery. Quite likely at some point in her life. 4th house is also your upper body. Specifically, your chest to the upper back. So, in those regions, you could need a surgery at some point in life. Okay. So, that's fourth lord in the 8th house. A very mixed bag placement. It has some positives, has some negatives, but that's life. So, let's talk about the fourth lord in the 9th house. So, 9th house is religion, philosophy, the law. It's your father figures. 9th house is publishing. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage. It's higher education. Ninth house is your luck and fortune. So, with this, we see your mother could be very close to your father. You would hope that's the case, but it's not always. We also see your comfort and happiness is derived through traveling, is derived through higher education. is derived through philosophical discussion. It's derived through your father, spending time with your father. Here we see your mother could be very religious. Now, one of the negatives we see with this is the 9th house is 6 places away from the 4th house, meaning your mother will deal with health issues with this placement. But unlike 4th Lord in the 6th house, 9th house is a good house. It's a house of luck and fortune. So your mother would have luck in overcoming these health issues. She'll get health issues, but she will pull through. There's always luck on her side. So, a little bit of a mixed bag there. But also, we see you can get a home through your father. You could live far away at some point. This 9th house is long distance travel. It's far places. This is why people tend to live far away when they go to university. Higher education and long distance travel. Okay. Also, this is another Raj Yoga placement. 4th Lord in the 9th house. Here a person can have a lot of luck and fortune through real estate. Through vehicles. Here you experience comfort and happiness through having a mentor in your life. But yeah, for the most part, this is a pretty simple placement, though. Now, let's talk about 4th Lord in the 10th house. So, 10th house is your career. It's your status. It's your workplace, your managers, your bosses. 10th house is government, especially national government. 10th house is karma. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So, with 4th Lord being in the 10th house, we see your mother would have been very focused on her career. Mother would be very career driven. Here, part of your career could be tied to the home. Maybe you worked from home at some point in life. Here, the people of your homeland can help provide you status and fame. Because that's what the 10th house is all about. Here we see you will have significant work to perform tied to your homeland. Also, part of your career could be tied to vehicles as well. And no, I don't just mean commuting to and from work. It could mean like owning a car dealership or something like that. Now, 10th house is also national government. 4th house is local government. So here we see a person could be involved in politics with this placement. Here we see a person derives their comfort, their happiness. What I say about working with vehicles. Damn, people drive fast up and down this road. Okay. So, you derive your comfort and happiness through your career. Career actually provides you comfort and happiness with this placement. That is not the case for most people. Most people hate their jobs. But for you, it provides you that. Same thing with your government. You are that person that actually feels like your government's on your side. But here, the biggest thing is you have that karmic action that you have to perform for the people of your homeland. You have to somehow serve the community where you were born, even if you live in a foreign country. You can see that. Okay. Now, let's talk about the fourth lord in the 11th house. So, 11th house is your elder siblings. It's your friends. It's your network circle, large organizations. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. It's gains, it's stock market. So with the fourth lord here, we see your mother could be very focused on your elder siblings. Mother would be very focused on fulfilling her own hopes, wishes, and desires. You derive your comfort and your happiness through friendship, through your elder siblings, through fulfilling your hopes, wishes, and desires. Some people, when they fulfill their wishes, they find they didn't really need it, didn't really want it. You're the person that it actually would feel fulfilling to accomplish those things. Here we see a person can gain through real estate, gain through vehicles. 11th house is money, so some portion of your money would come through home, land, real estate, vehicles. Now, the biggest portion of your income, though, you have to look at Venus. But we do see you would make some money through these sources. Also, here you can make money through your mother. Maybe you work with your mother at some point in life. You could experience that. Like here's kind of a mixed bag placement. Because on one hand, you gain through the mother. Mother helps you fulfill your hopes, wishes, and desires with this placement. But you also experience sun ups and downs with the mother. Because now the fourth lord is 8 places away from itself. Mother goes through a big transformation in her life at some point. Mother could have a lot of psychological baggage of her own that she's dealing with. Mother would likely require a surgery at some point. Also, for you, you could need a surgery when it comes to your chest or upper back, because that's the region the fourth house is tied to. You can also have psychological baggage tied to your mother. Tied to home, tied to vehicles. You can experience sun ups and downs with homes, with vehicles. Here, your comfort and happiness wavers. Some days you're up, some days you're down. So, this placement definitely has those ups and downs. Now, let's talk about the... Oh, sorry. There is one thing before we move on from this. But this does show you will gain homes. You will gain property. You will gain vehicles. So, it is a mixed bag, but those gains do happen. Okay. Now, let's talk about the fourth lord in the 12th house. So, 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's spirituality. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. It's isolation. Anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's foreign people, foreign lands, foreign travel. It's multinational companies. So with the fourth lord being here, we see you derive your comfort and happiness through sex, through sleep, through spirituality, through being isolated. You feel happy when you're alone with this placement. You have comfort and happiness in your own internal world when you are by yourself. Some people feels like they're fighting demons whenever they're alone. But you feel happy. And here, of course, comfort and happiness through travel to far off places. Also, 12th house is a house of fantasy. So a person here can experience comfort and happiness through experiencing fantasy, through media, through books, through drugs even. Don't overdo it. There's your PSA for the day. Shit. Okay. Now, we also see here a person can kind of experience that loss of the mother. Now, everybody's mother dies. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is you can feel like your mother's always away. Like mother's always off in a foreign place. Or like mother's not really there for you. Your mother tends to be kind of in her own little world. You know, your mother could just be always kind of daydreaming. Could deal with addictions. 12th house is a house of addictions. Mother could be very spiritual. So when you were growing up, you just didn't have that connection with the mother. Now, worst case scenario, mother could have been in a hospital, in jail, in an asylum. Or, I guess in a more positive light, in a monastery. These kinds of places. Also, here we see, quite likely, that you would live in a foreign land. Your home is now in a far-off place. Now, if you remain in your birthplace, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a home. You'll experience the loss of home. So, meaning, if you have this placement and you don't live in a far-off place, then you could likely become homeless. Now, 12th house is also tied to investments. So, this can be a very good placement for investing in property. Investing in real estate. Investing in cars. I don't really recommend that, but, you know, you do you. So we see that as well with this. But yeah, so, you know, this placement does have some positives to it, but most of the positives are derived when you're in a faraway place. Like, if you remain in your homeland, this can be a difficult placement. So my advice with this is, you know, prepare to move. And your life will improve with this. Okay. But yeah, that's been the fourth lord through houses. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.